I'm Mark Goldbridge, and this is your latest Manchester United news. It's like deja vu. It's like deja vu from last night. It's like deja vu from last season. Somebody called Beyonce because it's bloody deja vu. Mainoo now apparently out for weeks with an injury. We were talking about Agate last night. We already had a big injury list. We had it last season. It's the same old thing again. And I tell you what, I'm just frustrated. I'm frustrated this morning. We're also going to be talking about Thomas Tuchel, who was asked a direct question about why he took the Man United job and not the England job. And are Ineos now starting to be under fire? You know, some of what Tuchel said doesn't actually look good for Ineos if we read into it. And also Edison, the latest with him, as two other Premier League clubs enter the race to buy him. One of them potentially looking at a January deal. And also, there's a few other bits I want to get into as well, but lots to get into for a Thursday show. Yeah, I mean, look, this is just incredible. And the thing that annoys me about it, and I'm going to say I'm annoyed this morning, is that as Manchester United fans, we put up with a lot. We had a lot of success, but I've always said that. I remember a journalist saying a few years ago, well, you've got to put up with the bad times if you want the good times, and you can't just have years of success and then moan when you don't have it. Well, hold on a minute. I accept that you can't win forever. But a lot of what we've done over the last 10 years has been self-inflicted. Like, it's all right saying, well, you can't moan about being poor when you've been a millionaire. Well, you can moan about being poor if you're a millionaire and you walked out into the street and started fucking burning your money. Because that's basically what Man United did. We should never have fallen this far. Never have fallen this far. And what's that got to do with this Mainoo story? Well, the latest on Mainoo is, and it's coming out from UTD Menace, who has been very good around injuries, is that Manchester United's Kobbie Mainoo is expected to be out for 4 weeks, dependent on rehabilitation. So, look, definitely not playing at the weekend then, is he? So take him out of your predicted lineups. It's absolutely disgusting. And what annoys me about this, specifically about Mainoo, but we'll talk about the bigger picture, is the blame has to be shared blame. We talk about the medical department, and it is completely useless. Of course it is. But I think there's a part to be played from the board, from the director of football, certainly from the manager and the coaches as well. When you look at Mainoo, we knew he had a problem for the Porto game. Now, I don't think he played against Porto, but we took him there. 3 days later, Agate doesn't play 1 minute. He plays Mainoo. Mainoo clearly has an injury problem because he then doesn't play for England. So I'm sort of conflicted here, and it makes me confused, and it makes me angry. Because we know Ten Hag is a laptop manager. I've said it. You know, he can only play 60 minutes, then I'm going to take him off. So on the one hand, I would completely back Ten Hag and say he is a laptop manager. He is a precautionary manager like many are. And it's like, let's follow the data. So he follows the data. I've seen players come back from injury. I've seen new signings. Literally on the 60th minute, they come off. And that's because they've been told they can only do 60 minutes. Let's take our time with them. But on the other hand, we know that Kobbie Mainoo's got an injury and we play him against Aston Villa. And some would say, well, you know, if you lose that game, he's going to get the sack. But if he loses against Brentford, he's going to get the sack. So you play Mainoo against Villa, aggravate the injury, lose him for a month. You don't play him against Villa. You probably got him for the next month. So I just don't get what we're doing. And this, to me, I have to look at the medical department again, because the player's always going to want to play, especially Mainoo. He's 19, he's loving it, he's just been played for England. He's going to want to play. I feel fine to play. The manager's going to want him to play because he's the manager and he's going to want him to play. The medical team have got to come in and go, look, we've been really bad at our job for ages. Our advice is not to play him. Don't play him. But I don't know whether that advice has come in. I really don't. I don't have the answer on Mainoo specifically, but time and time again, we keep doing this. I mean, Luke Shaw spoke about this back in February. I didn't really feel I should play. The medical team said I could play. And it's just not fair. It's just not fair on us. Ten Hag will get a payoff if he gets sacked. Like, Ineos will still own 25%. The Glazers will still own 50%. The players will still earn hundreds of thousands of pounds a week. As fans, I heard we might have 11 injuries for the Brentford game. 11. I mean, I don't know what that 11 is, but it's absolutely incredible to me. And you know what as well? I was thinking about this before the show this morning. I've just recorded a video about England and the reaction to that that's going to go up on That's Football, so I'm quite het up anyway. But I was thinking about this morning. When you look at our injuries, it's not unlucky. It's actually really predictable. Kobbie Mainoo was always going to get injured. Since he's implemented into the team a year ago, he's had no break. He's 19. He's had no break. He's been playing midweek, weekend, midweek, straight into the Euros, straight back into a Man United side. It was so obvious that 19-year-old player whose body is still growing, being played too much, is going to pick up a muscular injury at some point. Who's predicting this? If I can predict it and you can predict it, why are United not predicting it? It's so obvious that at some point, Mainoo is going to get an injury. The only way to deal with it was to start resting him a little bit. I mean, he's not had the best start to the season anyway. I think he's a fantastic player, but he's looked burnt out ever since the first game of the season. I think it was it Fulham or Brighton, where after 70 minutes, you could visually see him just falling off. So Mainoo was always going to get an injury if we didn't manage his minutes, which we haven't done. Maguire's been injury prone over the last 18 months, so he was going to get injured. Lindelof is the same. Casemiro will get injured at some point. I know he's not been injured yet, I don't think, but he will get injured, and so will Eriksen, based on the last 2 years and their age. So that's 5 players I know that are going to get injured straight away. Sure, Malacia, I mean, bloody hell, if you don't know they're injured, Specsavers can't help you. I mean, you just can't see. That's 7. Mount's always going to keep getting injured. That's 8. Rasmus has got a few injuries last season. That's 9. I'm trying to think if I mean, Martinez is coming off a year out, probably going to get secondary injuries. So I can get to 10 players out of that first team squad straight away that I know are vulnerable to injury. Doesn't mean they're all going to get injured, but they're vulnerable to injury. Because I was just sat there this morning trying to figure this out, going, are we cursed? I'm reading some of the comments last night and people are going, we're cursed, we're cursed. And then I thought, nah, I don't believe in that. What is going on here? And actually, when you go through our squad and you put a percentage of how likely they are to get injured, you suddenly start to realise why we have an injury crisis. Because we've got a lot of players that are, if they get injured, you go, well, I can see. I understand why, to be honest. He's injury prone, he's injury prone, he's injury prone, he's over 30, he's injury prone, he's had a bad injury, he's over 30. There is a big list of players that are very much on borderline of injury. So I just sit there and I go, what's going on? And that's going to... Goldbridge, that's the end of the clip. I'm sure you enjoyed it. In fact, I bet that's the best clip you've ever watched. So there's no reason not to subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon so you never miss a clip again. In fact, smash a like on the video because we all know only legends like videos and you are all legends. So please smash a like on the video and we will see you again on the next one. Thank you very much for watching as always.